Entrepreneurs, without these four things, you are going to struggle to see real results in your business and the results that you really want, that you've been waiting for, and to be honest, that you have been praying for. I took some time and outlined exactly what you needed as an entrepreneur to really tackle and navigate the market right now as it relates to getting the clients that you want and need and making the money that you want and need. And so if you've been thinking like, how do I birth out this idea? How do I birth it out in a way that is sustainable for me? Then this is something you want to lean into. And so I want to unpack some truths today and ask you some questions that is going to move the needle in your business, right? And so when I think about the first pillar, one thing that a business cannot survive without is clients, customers, right? And in order for us to get clients or customers, we need leads. Say it with me, leads, right? In this month of October, your focus should be, how do I make sure that I'm getting leads? Leads are potential customers. If you're watching this right now, you are a lead. If you're going to watch this later, you are a lead, right? Because I am doing something. I am showing up to make sure that I let people know that I have a solution for them in the market. And so that's something that you have to do, but you have to be very strategic in how it is that you do it. So I want you to write down, the first thing that I want you to write down is strategy. Right? You need a leads/client attraction strategy. And I'm going to put on my marketing hat for a second, because some of you are going to say, I have one and it's not working. The thing that you are always doing as an entrepreneur, especially if you're a solo entrepreneur, is you are testing what works and you're testing what does not work. And so if you're in a place, in a space where you're like, it's not working, I don't like it. Then you need to go back and tweak and figure out where is there a crack? Where is something off with your messaging? Where is something off with your offer that's causing people not to come to you, right? So that lead strategy is key. If you don't have leads, you have no people to launch to. If you have no people to launch to, you have no people to sell to. If you have no sales, there's nothing for you to really legally protect, right? So that is very important. So when you're thinking about, okay, how do I even get leads? Here is something that I want, that I always, not even that I want, that I push my clients to really think through. And if I'm honest, I need to have it posted on my wall so that I don't forget it whenever I'm creating an offer. The first question that you have to ask yourself is, does the market need this? One of the biggest issues that I see with entrepreneurs is that we lead with what it is we want to do, what impact we want to make, but that is not the best way to go about starting a business, marketing a business, and then actually growing a business. I always tell my clients this: you have to be in a place and a space where you are assessing the needs of the market. So what do your people want? What are your people willing to pay for? Some of you are like, I haven't really been thinking through this, attorney Jamila. Like, what is this? Like, it's important. And if you don't have this system in place, there is probably a breakdown in the success of your business, the strategy of your business, and the sales of your business. So this one lever, right? Are you giving the market what it needs? This one lever will determine the success, the strategy, and the sales in your business. And you may be thinking like, well, how can I get some help with that? Head on over to imandmore.com, sign up for the leads, launches, sales, and legal protection 4-week sales bootcamp, the only bootcamp where you're going to get legal guidance, business guidance, and sales guidance all in one, and use code October7 to save for 24 hours. But let me get back to the teaching, right? So the first question I want you to ask yourself is, all right, does the market really need this? If the answer is no, then it's probably no. If the answer is I don't know, then you have to go and you have to complete market research. Anybody who's ever come through any of my programs or even my legal clients, because sometimes I have to put on that business strategy hat, it's always like, did you do your market research? Well, what is the market saying? If you don't know how to do that, you need to be heading over to IamandMore.com. So that's question one. I know. Question two is, does the market need this from me? Whew. I know. Does the market need this from me? So one, does the market want it? Two, does the market need it from me? Again, if you get the attorney, you're going to get the business strategy. You get the business strategist, you're going to get the attorney. So I was talking to one of my clients who is, they come to me for legal work, but then they were just talking to me about some products that they're developing. And I said, now, does the market want oils from this person? The market does want their oils and their scents, but do they want oils and scents from this person? Because if not, you're going to invest money in a product or a service that the market isn't really looking forward to you. And so then what are you doing? You're impacting your sales, your strategy, and your success. This one lever, really spending time figuring out like, what problem am I solving? Who am I solving this problem for? And do these people want me to solve this problem for them? And that kind of leads you into, how are you going to attract clients? How are you going to get leads? Because if you don't have leads, you will not have that business in place. And that's not why you're here. You didn't tune into this because you didn't want to be successful. And all of this then informs what you offer. And a lot of times business owners have it backwards because they start with what they want to offer, not really leaning into what does the market want. You want a true story? The 4-week Sales Bootcamp, really what I wanted to do was make it like you need to plan for 2025. That's what I wanted. That's not what the market needed. That's not what the market wanted from me, right? Yeah, planning is cool. Yes, we need plans. But in reality, if I'm not getting clients, if I don't know how to turn my leads into, paying customers, then I don't have anything to plan for, Jamila. So please back it up. And I had to have that aha moment. So when I wrote out the first copy, yes, I read out my own copy. When I wrote out the first copy for my sales page, I was like, that ain't work. So what's happening here? Then I had to go back and say, okay, well, let me redo it, right? Because as an entrepreneur, you're always testing what works and what does not work. I know some of you are like, Jamila, what's the code again? The code is October 7th. It's good for 24 hours. Head over to IamandMore.com to sign up for the 4-week Sales Bootcamp. It's the only place where you're going to get sales, strategy, and legal protection. So as you kind of navigate like, dang, how do I even develop a lead system? Is signing up for the bootcamp so that you can have strategy and guidance, because doing it on your own and trying to whack-a-mole your business, you are hustling and not being a CEO. If God called you to be a CEO, be a CEO and show up. That's just pillar one. And I haven't even dove real deep into it, but I just wanted to give you an overview. So then here's the next set of questions that you have to ask as you start to really think through the second pillar, which is a launch, right? And there are launches that are ongoing. There are launches that are event-based. And there are launches that are kind of sporadic depending upon your business model, right? And I want you to kind of lean in here too, because you have to have enough data to inform your business model. As I'm reflecting on 2024 and beginning to put a plan in place for 2025, I have to have a wake-up call and be like, okay, what's really working, what's not working, right? And that informs your launch style. So when you're thinking about your launch, here's a question I want you to ask yourself. What is my impact goal? right? Because a lot of times, and I'm only speaking to, entrepreneurs who are on assignment, entrepreneurs that are purpose driven, you have to have an impact goal, right? How many people do I want to impact? And if you want to impact, let's just say if we're starting off small, 5 people is good. 5 people is great. There are people who never get people to buy from them for years and years. So if you get 5 people, that is a good goal to start off. So if you know you want to impact 5 people, then you have to say, okay, why do I want to impact them? Like, what's in it for them? And then as you're thinking through that, you're like, okay, so then what is the sales goal here? If I get these 5 people, what is the sales goal? And when I teach people in my programs and when I coach them one-on-one, I'm always talking to them about, your main offer, your downsell, and your upsell, right? So you have to have that main offer there. But you have to be ready for people to not be ready for that main offer and for people to be ready for more, right? And so as you're thinking through that, you want to think through, okay, if I'm going to get these 5 people, what level am I going to get them at? Am I going to get them at the main level, the upper level, or the lower level? And that also informs your sales goal. And unfortunately, we've had so many, internet gurus and people and this and that and that and that and that and that and all the things. And they haven't been really honest with us about what it really takes to make the amount of money that they're talking about making, what systems are in place, how much money do you have to invest in your launch to actually pull in that number of people. And so as you are in thinking through pillar 2 of the leads, the launches, the sales, and the legal protection, you have to dial back and really think through that people impact and then what you're going to offer them at each level. And then you have to think about, what do they actually need to know about you? What do they need to like about you? And what do they need to trust about you in order to be willing to make an investment in their future? And this stage is so critical because so many entrepreneurs just give up at this level because they don't really know the system and the strategy to launching. They don't know how much to set aside for a budget to invest into the launch. Newsflash, just posting on social media is not going to do it. And with the way that the world is going right now and the market, everybody's trying to make their money. And so you could go viral at a higher level 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even a year ago. But now, because Instagram, Facebook, Link, all those places, YouTube, they are informed on what happens and how much money they lose out when people go viral. So they fix the algorithm. So you need to run ads. So you have to have some level of investment amount that you want to have. And there, Ronnie Tyler, she talks about this in one of her books where she says you need to account for 10 to 30% of what it is that you want to earn from a sales goal and invest that in paid advertisement. Now, I could go deeper into, what it is that really means and all of that entails, but that's for the Sales Bootcamp, right? They have their blueprint for those that are already signed up. It's been emailed to them. I'm about to ship it out for those at a higher level. But these are the things that if you don't have in place, you won't see the leads. You won't be able to launch properly. You won't see the sales. And then there's nothing really to legally protect. I was supposed to be on here for 10 minutes just talking to y'all. We only had 2 pillars. Message me if you have any other questions. And for those of you all that are ready to take action and you're like, no, Jamila, like I have to make sure that I am in this challenge. I have to make sure that my 2025 doesn't look like my 2024. I have to make sure that I maximize the last quarter of the year because anything can happen. Anything can happen when you put in the right strategy with the right efforts and you have the right information and the teacher behind you. That's one of the things that I always pride myself on. Like, I'm just not on here telling you stuff. I'm actually teaching you how to navigate all of these things, because these are the things that have allowed me to have the 5-figure launches time and time again. It's a system, it's a strategy, right? That I've leaned into and been able to work. And sometimes I think about when I hear the statistics, like 80 something, I think it's 88% of business will never hit, for women owned businesses will never hit $100,000. I'm like, what? Why not? Right? They didn't get the strategy. They don't have the system, and they don't have the right person pushing them with the right information for them to see the success and for them to see the sales. Head over to imandwhere.com. Listen, this code is active for 24 hours, October 7. You're going to be able to save. If you have questions, send me a message. Talk to you soon.